Mr. Beast, Mr. Beast, Mr. Beast, you have messed up. You are done. The myth, the legend, the main man, Dogpack404, released another video talking about the dark things that happen behind the scenes of the Beast crew. In this one, he did an interview with one of the people who used to work at the Mr. Beast company, so there is a lot to unpack here. This employee goes by the name Jake Weddle, and he exposed a lot, I'm not even gonna lie. The first one I want to get out the way is the fact that Mr. Beast fired Jake and another employee for trying to get better pay. There was no other way I could explain it, so I'm just gonna let the clip explain for itself.
But he said, hey man, if that's how you feel, you know, like if that's like, I trust you. He stood with me. He went to that meeting with me. And I said my piece, and he backed me up. And I said, I need XYZ or I'm out of here. And they said, bet. And they gave me a severance check the next day. And they gave him a severance check the next day. And if I knew he was going to lose his job too, I wouldn't have done it.
So instead of actually listening to them and giving them better pay like they had originally requested, instead of like actually like using their troglodyte brains and listening, the Beast crew just gave him the 1-2 fuck you combo and then just like fired both of them on the spot. Remember, this is the least worst thing they've done. The worst is still yet to come. You see this video right here? Well, Mr. Jake Weddle was the original cast for that video. Like, he was the original person and not the actual guy who's in the video. And the reason why he's not in that video, well, I'll let the clip explain.
Sometimes he'd have a note with the director over the phone that would really piss me off. This is the note I got from the director, from Jimmy, when I'm receiving some cash. He said, Jimmy said, can you say to the camera how thankful you are that now you can pay back your student loans?
Is this nigga serious?
You know how hard it was to do a take of that? And pretend to make it genuine? I don't want to have student loans. I don't want to be in a cage. But Jimmy's the guy with the money, and if you do what he says, he'll do what you want. You want your student loans paid off? You just be in this cage. And you have power over people. When one person doesn't have resources and the other one does, and they hold it over your head, and you go, of course, yeah, I agreed to it. I needed it, of course. There's something about like having the cameras on me all the time. Like I was not having a good time, but we were filming a video, so I was trying my best to be funny. You know, I'm a dark comic. You know, I got bits about. I had a very traumatic life. My dad is in jail for sexual assault of a minor. You know, so this kind of stuff is very near and dear to my heart. You know, I don't fuck around with this shit. Yeah, I have jokes about that in my act. You know, I joke about it because that's what you do in a traumatic experience. You know, abusive relationships. I get out of it. The first thing I do is I do a type file about it. You know, so I'm in this situation where my mental health is not good. My physical health is getting worse. But we're filming, so I'm doing bits. I'm talking to the camera. And I'm being, you know, like, hey, it's been a couple days. I'm not doing so hot. You know, which if I'm filming a video, that's what I should be doing for the camera. But it was too real. If they're faking videos, why couldn't we fake this one? You know, if we're allowed to let these cast members have some time off of this difficult challenge, how come we couldn't turn the lights off?
Now, he brings up a really good point here. If Mr. Beast was already alleged to fake his videos, why couldn't they just fake that one? All right, like, this video was just like a bit too real. Like, there was no reason that they couldn't have faked it just for the actor's sake, because, you know, he's the one that's actually had got to do all this. Not only that, the room he was in, it was disgusting. It smelled. There was an ice cream machine that smelled. There was a hot tub that also smelled because it didn't have a filter system. And neither did the ice cream. Like, it was never cleaned. So not only was he stuck in a smelly room, but he was also injured. Yeah, so he got blisters on his feet from running on a treadmill while he was already injured or something like that. That's all I heard about that situation, though. So here are some text messages proving that what I said is actually real. So you know how it says here that they did not give him the money? Well, here's what he has to say about that.
I did not get the $300K. What I got, he goes, think of it this way. At least you get to keep what you earned. You know, you were in there for XYZ days. You did XYZ challenges, so you got You know, 100,000 some change.
Out of pocket for that shit.
You know, give or take. You know how much money I spent in taxes in 2021? I spent $44,000 in taxes alone. And now I spent all that money on doing stand-up. I bought plane tickets to go do comedy festivals. You know, my family back home, I gave them a bunch of stuff that they needed. And haven't been back on a beast set in any official capacity or unofficial capacity since then.
I'm not gonna lie, that was a really scummy act on Mr. Beast's part. You knew the dude needed the money, and instead of like giving the money you promised him, you gave him like 1/3 of the money? No, not even 1/3 of the money. You didn't even give him, you gave him less than 1/3 of the money that you promised him. What the hell, Beast? We know you have the money, so why did you not give him the money that you promised him? You're not gonna run out of money because you're basically just an infinite money glitch. So why would you not give him the money that you promised him? By the way, Jake suffered extreme sleep deprivation because of the fact that when they were recording the video, the lights were on 24/7. It is hard as hell to sleep while the lights are on. So the fact that he had to deal with that for as long as he did it, there was like no specific amount of days that he said, but the fact that he had the lights on every day, every hour of the day, even when he was trying to sleep, is just like very scummy. Like, what is wrong with people? Also, Mr. Beast even lied about cleaning up a lake that he filmed the video in. So in this video titled Protect the Yacht, Keep It, Mr. Beast is actively trying to destroy a yacht while the contestants have to try and protect the yacht, and if they do, they will keep it. Mr. Beast said this at the end of the video.
Oh, and if you're wondering, yes, we did ensure the lake was completely cleaned up after this video.
Baby, probably in a fast car, riding with the cap off, pull up with a bad bag. Thinking the guy here capping, I'm not these rappers, you gon' have to cap your ass off and back on it, big homie. Yeah, how about that bitch with that shit on? Okay, my dick, I sit me down and she sit on the shit.
The reason why I put that clip is because Mr. Beast was like completely fibbing. He did not clean the lake because there were people who were complaining about it. I live around Mr. Beast's area and have been hearing lots of talk about him leaving trash and debris behind at his previous filming location. I know somebody very closely who works at the camp where he filmed a few of his last videos that featured destruction and some explosions. Apparently, he left a large boat in the pond as well as debris around the film site and the bottom of the pond weeks and weeks after the agreed time frame. This actually rendered it unsafe for campers and almost delayed the camp's opening date multiple times due to them not being able to get in contact with Mr. Beast to get this stuff cleaned up and out of the area. Eventually, the boat and most of the debris was removed after constantly asking him when or if he would come out to clean it up. There are still lots of items that can be found at the bottom of the pond if you dive. This has kind of left a bad taste in my mouth as the camp is a Christian organization and asks for no money or publicity, and also aren't the type to say anything negative about the experience publicly. I know personally that this has caused a lot of stress on staff leaders and the owners of the camp and was mostly a negative experience for them. I guess I'm just curious if anyone else has heard about this / knows about this / or knows if he has a history of doing this kind of thing. Just seemed very unprofessional from someone at his level and with his image. The worst is still yet to come though. Mr. Beast hired a known sex offender on his team. This is the police report of the known sex offender, and he was in Mr. Beast's videos. Now here is what Jake had to say about that.
He knew but covered it up. How do you prove that, you know? Well, there was a known sex offender, registered sex offender, convicted sex offender on the registry and everything who worked there. What the fuck? But that guy, from what I hear, I can't confirm or deny, from what I hear, he's on the registry for doing some not great stuff to some underage people.
Oh, hell no!
And they knew that. And he's working at a channel that has underage people on and around and is targeted to underage people. And they covered up the fact that not only did he work there, but he was like the manager when it all started. And you know that he knew, and because he'll be in videos, he'll be in thumbnails, he'll be around, and whenever he is, he's wearing a mask. Why would you wear a mask? Why would you conceal your face? It's like, what are you concealing? That you are a registered sex offender? And that your face can be looked up on a thing? How much more can you literally cover up a sex offender?
So does Jimmy just like protecting predators? Because first we had Tyson, and now we have this alleged S predator. It gets worse and worse now because not only did he have a registered S offender on his payroll, but he also had sexual misconduct take place at his work facility.
So you don't have to harass my people. It will be about serious allegations of sexual misconduct in the company and your direct involvement in covering up those crimes. And I'll make sure to give you full credit and plaster your face all over the screen when we talk about that. You trap these girls in a circle and make them sleep on rough turf and get them high on paint fumes, and then you try to f them.
Jimmy. Come on, man. Like, you were like the greatest person on the platform until now. Like, you were practicing philanthropy, you were donating to people. Why did you just have to do weird stuff, man? Honestly, why? Dogpack is planning on making a third video, which, you know, covers the whole sexual misconduct allegations. And honestly, I don't know how it could get any worse for Mr. Beast. The only way it could get worse is if he was one of the pedophiles too. But anyways, we're done with this situation so far. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. The Discord server is in the description, and I'll see you guys later.